Our dear children of primary 4, today we are still looking at population, but before I introduce the lesson for today, allow me to go through the previous lesson. If you look at the previous lesson, we look at the terms that are related to population. We look at the population census, population distribution, overpopulation, underpopulation, and even some other terms that are connected to population. But now today, we are going to look at the population growth. I want you to understand these terms. Differentiate population growth from population census. Differentiate population growth from population distribution. So when we talk about population growth, we are saying that population growth is the increase in the number of people living in an area. You ever seen some places when the number of people is ever increasing? So when the number of people keeps on increasing in an area, that one is called the population growth. Then which factors can lead to population growth? What can make the number of people in an area to increase? So one, we are talking of high birth rates. So the first point is high birth rates. Then you also have high fertility rate among women. We are talking of women because they are the ones who are ever producing. So the point is high fertility rate among women. Then you have polygamy. We have some families where you find one man having many wives. Could be 2, could be 3 or 4. Like an example, look at the Muslims. For them, they are allowed to practice polygamy. Then you have early marriages. You ever seen some children who are below 18 years, from 15, 16, 17, producing? When you produce, you are going to increase on the number of people in that area. Then you have improved health services. Then you have this point of ignorance about the family planning methods. Like an example, if you look at rural areas, you can get a family where one family has over 15 children, or they can be 10 and above. So remember, when you are producing children, the more you produce, the more the number of people in that area. So we have some methods that were introduced by the government to help on reducing on the population growth. But we have some people who are not using such methods. Then now how can we control? How can we reduce on the number of people in an area? So we are looking at ways of controlling population growth. The first one, we are talking of encouraging people. We should encourage people to use the family planning methods. Like look at families, we have many children. Families where you have 10 and above children. So such families, people should be encouraged to use the family planning methods. Then we talk of early marriages. How can we control this in an area? How can we control early marriages? So we can say by discouraging early marriages. Those ones who are getting married when they are still young should be discouraged. Then we have encouraging monogamy. Remember, under causes of population growth, we talked of polygamy. Then here we are talking of monogamy, encouraging one man to have one wife. So it should be 1 to 1, not 1 to 4, 1 to 3, or 1 to according to the Muslims. Then families that have got small, or families that have got few people, the government has to begin giving them some more gifts. Like we are talking of giving tax benefits to small families. Like now if you look at the developed countries, there are some countries where they give you the exact number of children you are supposed to produce. But if you look at our country, Uganda, provided you are able to care about your children. Then you have the natural disasters. When you talk about natural disasters, these are things that they occur on they happen on their own, but at the end, we shall have death of people. Like an example, look at people who are living near water bodies. People who are living near lakes, near rivers, near swamps, such people are being affected by floods. And you ever seen some people in Uganda dying because of floods? So floods can lead to death of people. Then we have landslides. Landslide, this one here is in mountainous areas. So I want us to understand these two words. We have the word landslides and we also have the word floods. Floods occur in areas that have got water bodies. So when we have water bodies, we can talk of floods. Then in mountainous areas, we can talk of landslides. And landslides lead to death of people. Then we have outbreak of diseases. Like now you have seen the number of people who have died because of COVID-19. So the disease outbreak can also lead to death of people. Then we have famine. Famine is caused by prolonged drought. So prolonged drought leads to famine. When we talk of famine, we look at shortage of food in an area. Then we have lightning. Lightning can also lead to death of people, and we also have the volcanic eruption. We also have the earthquakes. So these are some of the natural disasters that can reduce the number of people in an area. Then we have the ones that are caused by people, and those are man-made disasters. Man-made disasters, these ones here are caused by people. For example, we have accidents. Like I've given here an example of road accidents. So in case of some accidents, you expect some people to lose their lives. Then we have water and food poisoning. Water and food poisoning can also lead to death of people. Then you have the plane crash. Then you can also talk of outbreak of fire. So these are some of the man-made disasters that can reduce the number of people in an area. Then you also looked at the natural disasters, mean that for them they exist on their own. And at the end, we shall have death of people. So we have discussed about the population growth, factors that can do population growth, ways how can we control population growth. Then you have the natural disasters and also have the man-made disasters. But before I end my lesson, allow me to talk about your handwriting. There are some of you have tried to improve on the handwriting, and there are some of you have totally refused to change the handwriting. So as you are bringing your book for marking, first go through your work, first check the organization of your work before handing in your book for marking. So once we improve on the organization of our work and even the handwriting, then the work will be neat. Otherwise, I want to appreciate you for being attentive to me.